Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here today at the Seamless Middle East 2022. And I would like, on behalf of the Organization of Economic and Cooperation and Development, to thank His Highness Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior of the United Arab Emirates, Lieutenant General Sheikh Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan, for the invitation. My name is Barbara Obaldi, and at the OECD, I'm the Digital Government and Data Unit Head, and I'm also the head of the Digital and Open Government Division in the Public Governance Directorate. The OECD has had the pleasure of working with governments in the Middle East in their digital transformation for over 2 decades. Building on this experience and on the main trends we see globally, today I would like to share with you 3 key imperative actions that in our view should be priority to advance the digital maturity of governments. We see an absolute need to pursue a holistic digital transformation, to engage in collaborative partnerships, and to take measured actions. Starting with the first priority, to pursue a holistic transformation, for many years, governments in the Middle East have demonstrated strong determination and commitment to digitalize, innovate, and push the frontier in becoming digitally enabled states, from establishing infrastructure and improving connectivity to formulating national digital strategies and delivering digitally even during the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet, the OECD has identified one crucial fact. The COVID-19 crisis has surfaced that the majority of countries, including in the Middle East, need to do more to build the foundations for a digital maturity of governments. This includes having the governance, the preparedness, and the capacity needed to deliver in a coherent and consistent way across the public sector. The digital transformation, as we all know, is not about deploying the most cutting-edge technologies, but it is about pursuing a change holistically for the greater good, placing user needs and expectations at the core of process reengineering and to design services that are inclusive, trustworthy, and sustainable. This is why the OECD in 2014 has adopted the recommendation on digital government strategies, on which basis we defined the digital government policy framework, which identifies the key 6 dimensions of a truly digital government, which is digital by design, data-driven, government as a platform, open by default, user-driven, and proactive. The framework supports governments in designing digital government strategies which are effective, transparent, ethical, safe for all citizens and businesses. Attaining the digital maturity holistically, however, requires targeted investments on public digital infrastructure, data architecture, human resources, digital tools, and it also requires collaborative mechanisms with the GovTech community. This brings me to the second imperative action, which is we need to engage in collaborative partnerships. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic showed more than ever the importance of joining efforts and leveraging collective intelligence, especially when dealing with extraordinary circumstances. It showed how established businesses and startups have a key role to play in collaborating with governments in their digital transformation to make the public sector more agile, more innovative, in one word, seamless. Therefore, my second message to you is that we really need to foster a holistic transformation that can seize the opportunities to partner and collaborate with the private sector, as only joint efforts can make governments and cities in the region truly digitally enabled and as such serve the greater good and generate benefits for economies and societies. On this, I would like to bring to your attention 3 interesting examples from OECD member countries. In Italy, my home country, the public digital identity system was built by the government in collaboration with identity providers, banks, financial service providers, and software businesses. Currently, 8 out of the 9 identity providers in Italy are private sector companies. Second, in the United Kingdom, in the effort to improve public procurement, the government built the Digital Marketplace, which is a platform where the public sector organizations can find specialists, suppliers, technology services, and framework agreements for digital projects. Putting up a large amount of easily accessible tools and agreements has made public procurement much faster and cheaper than entering individual contracts. Third, in the Republic of Korea, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the government collaborated with the private sector to distribute emergency relief funds to more than 20 million households. To overcome the logistical challenge of this extensive welfare effort, 18 out of the 19 payment card providers were engaged by the government to link the digital infrastructure between public services and the private payment systems without the need to exchange data. This helped governments manage to secure transfer to 99% of the population within 3 weeks without failures, of which 68% was done through the private sector. These 3 examples prove how it's not difficult to engage in collaborative partnerships to build a digital ecosystem that really can make the life of citizens and businesses easier. And this brings me to the last priority, which in our view is to support the adoption of measured actions by government. We cannot improve what we cannot measure, and we now more than ever need data and evidence to help governments take strategic and informed decisions. This is why today my call for action is to leverage instruments such as the OECD Digital Government Index and the Arab Digital Economy Index, as they can really provide a solid-based evidence for the whole ecosystem to engage with governments on digital and data strategies, support governments in effective implementation, and advance the overall digital maturity of your countries. Undertaking the digital transformation journey, as we know, is a huge task that requires the buy-in and the support from all citizens and businesses. And monitoring and showing government performance is therefore a critical way to secure such support. Ladies and gentlemen, we should all encourage our governments in taking evidence-based and measurable actions to advance in this collective journey, to foster the development of more digital and innovative ecosystems in the Middle East. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here with you today at the Sيملس Middle East 2022, and I wish all participants a successful and meaningful summit ahead.